Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Gloria, the sourdough sorceress, and today we're going to ruffle a few feathers. We need to talk about the giant hole obsession because somewhere along the way, sourdough stopped being bread and started becoming a performance. If your crumb doesn't look like a dramatic, open, Instagram worthy web of giant tunnels, you think you failed. And I'm here to tell you big holes do not automatically mean better bread. In fact, sometimes they mean something went wrong. And even more importantly, what really matters is that you like it and you think it tastes good. Not Instagram, not some stranger online, you. So today I want to talk about 5 sourdough mistakes nobody talks about, especially in the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok era. Mistake number 1, chasing those dramatic holes instead of even fermentation. Here's the truth. A beautiful crumb is not about random caverns the size of golf balls. A strong loaf has even fermentation, balanced air pockets, structural integrity. Let's define those clearly. Even fermentation. What does that mean? It means the yeast and bacteria worked through the dough uniformly. What that looks like is the dough rises steadily, not explosively in one area. When you slice it, you don't see one giant cavern surrounded by dense dough. The crumb looks consistent from top to bottom. And when fermentation is uneven, you often see one huge hole near the top, maybe tight, dense sections elsewhere, slight gumminess in certain spots. That usually means the dough didn't proof long enough for gas to distribute evenly. Fermentation isn't about drama, it's about maturity. Balanced air pockets. So, what do they mean? They mean the bubbles are varied in size but harmonious. You'll see small to medium holes, maybe a few slightly larger ones, but nothing that compromises the slice. It should feel light, airy, soft, but still cohesive. So, if you hold a slice up, it shouldn't collapse in your hand. Balanced crumb means the gluten network stretched and held gas evenly during baking. It's strength and flexibility working together. Structural integrity, this one is huge. Structural integrity means your bread can be sliced cleanly, it can hold butter, it can hold avocado, it can hold sandwich fillings and not tear apart. When structural integrity is weak, you get collapsing slices, giant tunnels that make toppings fall through, gummy sections, a loaf that feels unstable. Structure comes from proper fermentation timing, good shaping tension, appropriate hydration, and flour strength. It's not flashy, but it's functional. And bread is food, function matters. Let me say this clearly. If you can't make a sandwich with it, what are we doing? Bread is meant to be eaten, not photographed and dissected. And personally, I don't love giant holes. I don't love when melted butter runs straight through and drips onto my plate. I prefer smaller, more even holes and a golden crust instead of a super dark one. But someone else might love the dramatic crumb and the dark blistered crust. Neither is right or wrong. The only real question is, do you love it? Does it taste good to you? That's the standard. Let's talk about mistake number 2, which is obsessing over high hydration. Somewhere online, 80% hydration became some kind of weird badge of honor. But here's what no one tells you. Higher hydration requires strong flour, proper fermentation, skilled handling, and the right environment. If you're newer to sourdough and copying an 82% hydration formula from someone baking in coastal humidity, and you're in a dry climate, you're going to struggle. Hydration is not a personality trait, it's a variable. More water does not equal more skill. Okay, so now let's talk about mistake number 3, which is overhandling during shaping. When people chase big holes, shaping often goes wrong in one of two directions. They either over degas aggressively or they're too afraid to touch the dough at all. Over degassing just means pressing air out of the dough. When you dump your dough onto the counter and start pressing hard, flattening it forcefully, pushing all the air out because you think that's what you're supposed to do, that's aggressive degassing. It collapses the internal structure. It destroys the fermentation work that already happened. Now, gentle degassing is normal. You do want to redistribute gas slightly when shaping, but you're not punching down pizza dough. It's a different process. You're shaping with intention. You're building surface tension, gently stretching the outer layer of the dough so it creates strength and holds its shape, not wrestling it, not smashing it down, not panicking. And honestly, your dough responds better when you're calm. Okay, mistake number 4 is comparing your kitchen to someone else's. You're not baking in their climate, with their flour, with their water, with their starter, with their humidity, in their temperature. Even the exact same recipe will behave differently in winter versus summer in your house. And yet people say, but mine doesn't look like hers. Well, of course it doesn't. You're not in her kitchen, so comparison is killing your confidence more than your technique ever will. Which brings me to mistake number 5, thinking Instagram is the standard. Let's just say it. You are seeing the best out of 10 loaf. You're seeing perfect lighting, strategic cutting angles, selective posting. You're not seeing the dense one, the gummy one, the flat one, the overproof pancake. Nobody posts those, but everyone makes them, even people who've baked for decades. Now, let's talk about the big reframe here. If you want bold, here it is. Big holes are not the pinnacle of sourdough. Even fermentation is, balanced structure is, flavor is, digestibility is, confidence is, and most importantly, you enjoying it is. So stop chasing someone else's aesthetic. Start chasing understanding. When you understand fermentation, temperature, flour strength, hydration, and shaping tension, your bread becomes calm, predictable, repeatable, and far more satisfying than any Instagram or Facebook crumb shot. Sourdough should feel empowering, not performative. If you want to go deeper into understanding the variables instead of chasing aesthetics, that's exactly what I teach inside my Sourdough Made Easy online class. You can find the link in the show notes or in the description wherever you're listening to this or watching this. But for today, bake what you love. Cut it warm if you want. Let that butter melt exactly how you like it and stop apologizing for the size of your air bubbles. I'll see you next week.